what I want to talk about is some things that you as professionals and you and parents need to know, and as professionals that you can share with parents. One is this: we've been sold a bill of goods. We have been sold a bill of goods based on the work of Burris F. Skinner, B.F. Skinner, that consequences must be immediate or the little deers won't draw the connection. Who's been taught this? Well, B.F. Skinner did glorious work with pigeons, lab rats, and German shepherds. And his research is unequivocal: pigeons need immediate consequences. What I want to share with you is not only are immediate consequences not necessarily helpful for our kids, they're often counterproductive. When your child acts out, anybody here ever have one tantrum? Okay, for those of us who know anything about brain development, which part of the child's brain is functioning while they're tantruming? The frontal cortex, where reason and language and problem solving live? Or the brainstem, where fight or flight lives? Guess what? You swat a kid in fight or flight and you don't do a thing because they don't learn nothing. You might interrupt the tantrum, but learning takes place where? Up here. So what I want, one thing for you to know is the teachable moment is not during the hurricane. The teachable moment is just before the hurricane or just after the hurricane. Just like hurricanes are a really good reason to fix a roof, they're a really bad opportunity to fix a roof. So teachable moment, look before the kid goes or after the kid goes, but the point is kids learn best when they are up here. By the way, guess when we behave best? When we are up here. Too many times, okay, 9 out of 10 timeouts are given to the wrong party. Too often, not always, but too often, spanking is given when we should be taking a timeout. I'll back them up on that. So, one is to understand the teachable moment and know that delaying a consequence, waiting till everyone's calm, can actually work. The second piece I want you to know, and something you can teach parents and something you can take home, is that, okay, while spanking interrupts behavior, long-term results, by the way, who wants their kids to have long-term improved behavior? Long-term results come by teaching an alternate behavior, teaching other safe actions. Who's ever said, honey, use your words? Please don't ever let me hear you say that to a child until you've taught them words to use. Because see, kids use their own words on a regular basis and then we punish them for it. You a poo-poo head, that's what you are, you a poo-poo head. Now, last week this kid would have cold-cocked his neighbor. But this week he said, you a poo-poo head. We should be what a great job you just did using your words. Now let's talk about my words, because that's what I really want you to use, okay? And then we can teach. Does this make sense? Yes. Never hold a child accountable for a behavior they haven't yet been taught. And often we spank over a behavior when no one's taught them what else to do. Teach them what else to do. On this, the last thing I wanted to share with you as far as something you can give to parents and something that really helped me comes from Dr. Ethan Everett, who teaches us that kids are teeter-totters. They can be doing stuff we do like or doing stuff we don't like. But can they be doing both at the same time? No. So it's either or Historically, and spanking fits in this, historically, the way we discipline our children tends to be to push down on behavior we don't like. May I ask you guys this question? I once had a teacher say to me, and Margarita was there actually, yeah. A child does that for no reason at all. Child does that for no reason whatsoever. What do you guys think? Is there such thing as a behavior a child does for no reason whatsoever? If they're doing it, especially if they're doing it over and over, it has a reason. Here's the problem. This is what research backs up. If you push down on a behavior, the child is doing it over and over again, but don't give them a new behavior that meets the same need, as soon as you stop pushing down, what happens? Wah, 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 right? Yeah. So rather than pushing down on a behavior you don't like, and spanking does that, it interrupts it, lift up on a behavior you'd rather see in the child that meets the same need. Because if you lift up and get the child doing something you do like, guess where the other behavior goes? Ain't but 8 hours in your shift. To kind of put it that way. Does this make sense? Yeah. Now, just to highlight all this, I want to tell the story of my favorite child ever. And then you can see if that all fits. I know we're not supposed to have favorite children, right? Those of us who work with kids, you can't have favorite children. Yeah, I do. I was running a drug and alcohol treatment center for moms. And I had, by the way, this is a huge barrier to moms coming in for drug and alcohol treatment. Pardon me, but what do I do with these short folks? We said, honey, bring them. And they came in. Now, out of most of our classrooms or whatever, if you've got 10 kids in the classroom, 8 of them are probably inside your skill set, and 1 or 2 make you crazy. Is that about right? I had 24 kids, and every one of them were hair pull, make you crazy kids. And Courtney was the queen of the group. Courtney was 4. Courtney hit, she kicked, she broke stuff, she spit, she smeared stuff. Her entire family were spankers. Courtney had been being spanked for all this behavior over and over and over again, but it was still persisting. And with us, who weren't spankers, Courtney was in basket hold timeouts 8 to 10 times a day. Do we know what a basket hold timeout is? These are the ones where we're holding them with our legs crossed over her legs, her arms like this, held back, and someone holding a pillow in front of our head so she couldn't bust our lip. Are we pushing down on behavior as hard as we can push? And yet it's still there. So, lift up on another behavior instead. We couldn't figure out what to lift up on until one of the staff said, she appears to like to be held. So we came up with this brilliant plan. Are you ready for it? No grown-up will ever come into a room with Courtney in it without smiling, our biggest smile, looking her in the eye, and saying, Courtney, hi! And then we go over and we pick her up. Now, the early childhood people are saying, no, you don't pick them up. You get down on their level. No, you don't get down there. That's Courtney's turf. She'd mess you up down there, right? Courtney, hi, pick her up. Oh, let's find a place you can go. Oh, look, the block area. Let's take you to the block area. And all the other kids would scatter from the block area. And we'd put her down. Then we'd go by another grown-up and go, your turn. And this grown-up would go, ah. And then after 15 minutes, she'd go, well, Courtney has an 18-minute meltdown time. It's now been 15, so, Courtney, hi! Do you see the plan? Within 10 days to 2 weeks, basket holds were gone. Gone. Regular timeouts were in use. Now, I'm not the world's biggest timeout fan, but at that time we were doing it. How many minutes is Courtney supposed to stay in timeout? 4. I hated that rule. I had a timer that you set for 30 seconds. And then you look at the child and go, whenever the bell goes off, then you decide when you're ready to come back. And by the way, timeout, the way we did it always involved another activity that was just a gentle activity. Coloring, making a card, whatever. One day, when Courtney went to timeout, and someone took the timer and set it for 30 seconds, and walked away, and she had her crayons, Courtney picked up the timer and went, wah, 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 bam! I'm madder than that. Which says what?